Well, hi you guys. As you can see, the stream behind me is really flowing. We've been having some heavy rain, and this is the most swollen I've seen this creek yet since we moved here. And it's really cooking along, going down and under the road and onto the other side. And love that sound. Just love it. Can't wait until the good weather comes to build the cabin, but I'm going to go up to the barn because I want to talk about a few things and show you some progress I got up there. And really like these stairs because it's a lot easier going up and down this bank than how it was. Let's head up to the barn and we'll continue this video. As you guys can see, I've been very, very busy, and I got that whole corner cleaned out. All I got to do now is just take those shelving units down, and I got all my wood and everything stacked over on the other side, and now all I got to do is start taking things apart that are laying on the floor. I've been getting all the books out of the box. There's some interesting books here. A lot of books I never heard of, and a lot of them are from the 50s and 60s. Like here, the Annual Book of Knowledge, 1950. There's 1951, 1952. There's a whole series. Booth and the Spirit of Lincoln. So I wanted to get your guys' feedback, and I wanted to ask you guys and get your input. If there is something, you guys let me know, what do you want to see on this channel? Is there something you guys want to learn that I could possibly teach you on the various things that I do? Maybe you already know how to do the things that I do, and you just want to be inspired or whatever, but I'm looking for your guys' ideas as far as what do you want to see happen here at Eek Acres. And maybe there's somebody that's never done any building and never done any carpentry work and needs to learn the basics on how to get started. There's tips I could give. There's tips on building all different types of things. When I start my teardrop camper, which will be my 6th build, I will be doing a series on that again, like I did on the previous 5, on how to build a teardrop camper on a utility trailer frame. The cabin, of course, will be in better weather, you know, late spring, early summer, just like the landscaping. So if somebody wants to learn stuff about landscaping or transplanting trees and shrubs, that will be the time of year where I could do those videos for you guys. There's all kinds of ideas I have, but I'd like to hear back from you guys in this video in the comments below. How to build like a pressure treated raised garden bed. Whatever it might be, I will be happy to show you guys and show you the basics, like how, and I'll explain how I learned to build, how I taught myself to build. Because I never went to school for anything that I know how to do. I'm self-taught, so I would like to pass on what it is that I've learned in my life to maybe somebody that's watching that hasn't started or doesn't know how to start, where to begin. So I'd really enjoy your guys' feedback on that, and I greatly appreciate it. This barn does have a few leaks in the roof. It's got a metal roof, and later on we're going to have some Amish go up there and fix it. That's the only thing I can't do myself on this building because I'm terrified of heights. And at the peak of this building, it's 3 stories high. I don't go up that high, you guys. I got enough crap wrong with me. I don't need to slide off a barn and be in a wheelchair the rest of my life like what happened to my landlord. So I'm going to let the Amish handle that. Be having lots of coffee time videos right here for sure. Coffee and hot chocolate and that kind of thing to talk about different subjects and topics. And just talk about life in general because I do love to do that. I tried to move everything over to this side of the barn so everything is on this side that is left to deal with, so I could open up this side and have that side done. And it's almost done. I got a little more to do over there to get this all cleaned up and get these shelves out of there. And then that side of the building is going to be 100% empty, which is what I wanted. And that's what Bridget wanted too. And I brought my trailer over here that I'm going to build the camper on and parked it there and then put my mowers. But I got all my lumber stacked up over here on pallets. I got all my 2x4s together, my 2x6s, 4x4 pressure treated posts, pressure treated lumber on this side, plywood, OSB board, and the list goes on. And I still have to build a staircase to this loft because there's no way to get up there unless I use the ladder that I built that is right there. So instead of using a ladder, I want to have stairs that go up to a balcony to get up in there. And speaking of that, it reminded me of one of my favorite stories of all time. And some of you may have heard about it. Some of you may never have heard about it. And it's called the Laredo Staircase in the Laredo Chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Bridget and I last night watched the movie to it, and the movie is garbage. Don't waste your time watching it because there's no truth in the movie. They didn't represent the story at all. They twisted it and screwed it all up and ruined the story, in my opinion. The movie sucked. But the true story is that there was a chapel built in the 18th century, a Catholic church, and the nuns that ran the church were left with a church that had no stairs going to the choir balcony. Many carpenters came and tried to help them, but they all said that it wouldn't work, it would be impossible, the church wasn't built to where it can accommodate a staircase, etc., etc. Well, the nuns prayed for God to answer their prayers, and he did in a big way, and a carpenter showed up out of the desert, out of nowhere, unannounced, elderly, riding a donkey, and he agreed to build the staircase, and he locked himself inside the church for a set amount of time, did not let anybody witness his work inside the church, and when he left, he never said goodbye, he never gave his name, and he never accepted payment. And when he left and they went in and saw what he built, it was a miracle. To this day, architects have come and engineers from all over the world to inspect the staircase, and all of them said that it would be impossible to replicate the staircase. And it's also been determined through testing and everything else that this staircase was built out of wood that is not known to planet Earth. It's made and constructed solely out of wood that does not exist on this planet. How do you explain that? It is constructed in a way to where it should not stand. It should not support and hold people. There's no nails, no screws. It's all wood peg construction, and it has no center support. It's a freestanding spiral, gorgeous staircase built out of wood, not harvested from this world, and it's a miracle. And it's my favorite story of all stories because as a builder, an amateur carpenter, I love that story. And Bridget and I are going to take a road trip here in the near future because we want to do Route 66. And we're going to take a small detour south to Santa Fe, and we're going to visit the Laredo Chapel and see that staircase in person because that's on my bucket list. I've got to see the staircase because in my opinion, I don't believe that it was God that guided this carpenter's hands that showed up out of the desert unannounced. I think he was definitely a saint, but I think he was present when God willed this staircase into existence because the wood does not exist on planet Earth. Nobody knows what this wood is. It doesn't exist. Nobody knows what this wood is that constructed this staircase. And if you guys watch YouTube videos on it, documentaries on it, it is absolutely fascinating. God answered their prayers, and he gave them a magnificent staircase that no human being to this day, not even the best builders on planet Earth, can replicate this staircase. It's impossible. It's impossible. The construction just cannot be done by man. So if you've never heard of the Laredo staircase, look into it. It's an awesome, awesome story. It's a true story, and the staircase is there, and it's one of the biggest tourist attractions in the world. And I have to go see this thing in person because I love to build. And that thing is magnificent because I believe it was put there by God. That's what made me think of it because I got to build a staircase going up. But it's not going to be like that. Trust me, I could never replicate something like that. Mine's just going to be simple stairs along the wall going up, and then it will jog up this way to a balcony with a railing. But I want to have the stairs along the wall so they're not coming down, taking up floor space and stuff like that. Bridget and I have been out here working in the barn, and I want to show you we created Cozy Corner Coffee for doing videos out here. I put the books on the shelf, and we just hung up a little bit of decor in here, just to make a neat little sitting area. And Bridget's out here helping me clean. And we're going to just have a little area where we can sit and have coffee and talk to you guys. A lot of books in here, a lot of stuff to read, a lot of interesting topics. Boy, there is a mix. So you guys can let us know what you think. Cozy Corner Coffee. There you go. So it'll be a lot of fun, you guys.